Hey everybody, Corrie Thorne, the spiritual healer, coming to do my channeled messages. This is the weekly energy forecast for the week of for the last week actually. Is it last week of May? Yes. So for May the 24th, I guess we have next Monday, which is the 31st. But for May the 24th, so um we have a big week coming up, or we're in the energy of a big week. May the 26th is the full moon. Uh, it is the flower moon. It is the blood moon. It is an eclipse. I think it's actually super moon energy too. But there's a lot of energy. It is trailing through that Sagittarius fiery energy. The moon is on fire. Life is on fire. I feel like there's a lot of like I feel like we're on fire. Like life just feels like on fire. I have that sense of being on fire. So I'm reading through the energy of the week. This is channeled. This is not according to astrology. This is not according to anything else that anyone else may be speaking of, or they may be speaking of. I don't know. I don't go research it. I sit here, I go into meditation, I ask what is needed this week, or what is the energy of the week? What is coming through? What is what am I what's the what is in the forecast? And so there's just some prediction that comes in. um I'm like, I just laid down the cards. I'm like, I just put down the cards. I'm like, just lay down the cards. I feel like it's like we're going to be handed I feel like we're putting down the cards. It's like the deck of cards, the deck is in our hands. Life is in our hands. And I feel like for some we're just like, I'm not playing no more hands. We're not playing no more games. I'm not playing. I'm not playing this. I'm done playing. I'm done pretending. I'm done playing. And it's time to get real. It's time to get honest. It's time to get authentic. It is time to start telling some truth. I feel like we're going to start seeing some exposure of some truth. This moon brings about a big energy, and I feel like there's like with this, it lights up some bullshit. And my computer is like glitchy, so I feel like we have some things that are going to be exposed. We also have the essence of the imposter of our light, the imposters of the world being exposed as well, and that includes people that have been looking for a job. And I feel like playing on people's emotions and using times of fragility and vulnerable times is not a time to kind of step into, oh, I think I'll just do this because I have nothing else to do. I feel like you're seeing a lot of that fall away as well. You're seeing pioneers. You're seeing people who have been explorers and who have been pioneers to industries, to whether it's a professional industry, to no matter what it is. I feel like you're seeing them coming forth again. Like it's bringing in the elders, it's bringing in the old wisdom. You're seeing the wise old energy coming back in. And anything that felt like it was like, oh, I think I'll get on this whimsically kind of energy. And I feel like that whim kind of energy, it's like we can't run a world on whims. We can't run a world on emotional payback, and we can't run a world on fulfilling what people didn't get met within themselves as a child. That's never going to work. And so we're seeing some fall away of that energy coming in the following weeks. I feel like coming into June. As we move into June, we're going to be seeing some big, harsh truth and some big realities also coming out. So I feel like what I'm watching and what I'm witnessing is, as you have been in this deep freeze, colder than normal type of freeze energy out there, it's been freezing out some of the main people, or some of the people who are true wisdom, true seekers, true love, true light. And it's been freezing it out, and it's like been on the back of the screen saying, hello, excuse me. But you're going to see that, like, that is melting. You're seeing that thawing of the weather, of the weather. You're seeing the falling of the veil. So you're seeing the false veils fall, and you're seeing coming from behind, walking forward. You're seeing truth. You're seeing integrity. You're seeing good, honest people who are pioneers to industries everywhere stepping forward. And that includes even in this industry, in our work. It's like we just kind of it's like you just shake your head. You're just like, oh, it's like it's amazing what people will do just to make a dollar, and that doesn't align to the integrity of who we are and what we are. So finding our way into here is also about finding our voice this week and finding our truth. And a voice that is screaming and yelling is not a voice that'll ever be heard. That is not an open chakra. That is not an open throat chakra. That's actually as closed off. Bragging, acting larger than you are, telling, constantly having to justify, yelling and screaming, calling somebody else down, belittling people is not going to bring forth your truest of voice. It is about allowing it to unfold, allowing the unfolding. So I feel like this week, I'm going to say this coming into it, is that I feel like we are in a lot of endings. We are in a lot of exposure. We're in a time of being like finally completing some cycles. Like there, you're going to see things finally have to fall away. With that, you're also witnessing some major turmoil. And so with that comes, of course, war. With that comes um, war within ourselves, war within communities, war within like in the world. And so, and I want to put my head down. It almost like it shames me as human that we have to that we have the ability within us to become to become such not nice good humans, that we can take the life of another, or that we could justify taking a life out of another to claim rights and lands. And it just doesn't make sense to me. But that of course comes with my generations. So i am I am passed down generations of Mi'kmaq First Nations. And so being indigenous, being an Aboriginal truly is like, and so I'm listening to the messages. So being a part of that world is that in in who I am, in what we are passed down through generations and generations, is that I shake my head at the power and the conviction that comes when you can think your way into believing a reality that you are more than, better than, or that you have to right to in like entrap somebody, or to go to war with people. Like we don't, that's just not who we, that's not who we are put here to be. And there's so much more to that story that's unfolding as well for me. And I feel like for us, it's like we are just starting to pause and think, just put that in micro, like micro size that, bring that into yourself of being at war with you, and how you can become your own enemy, and how you can destroy your own ability to live in your truth and your happiness. I don't know why I got a wet spot on my shoulder, but or why that even brought my attention to my shoulder. But I just feel like it's like, do you want a pat on the shoulder for being the one that is remembered um for doing the so-called right things for all the wrong reasons, to be able to be a part of um a world that's not aligning to, or not helping everybody? Or do you want to be someone who can drop the weight off your shoulders, that feel like, you know what, it's like, I just can't take a part, I can't be a part of this. So I feel like this week you're going to find yourself stepping away, not being a part of a lot of things, or just saying, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm done doing this to myself. I'm done witnessing this in the world. I'm done being a part of this anywhere. It's like you're finally out of the keyboard warrior games and you're done fighting. And so we're looking in a new direction. We have a new perspective. I feel like standing up and standing tall and being able to like let yourself lean into this new energy that's coming, lean into looking with a smile on your face. There's hope. This week brings hope. And through hope is like, you got to look through the not good to be able to see that hope is there. If you only have hope and faith on a sunny bright day when everything is going great, then you really don't know what it's like to hold on to hope and faith. It is when we are being challenged, when we are being pushed to see the light in the darkness, is when we truly understand the power of hope. And that is what I feel like we are in the midst of that. I've been saying this, I said it in my live a couple days ago, was that we're in the middle of ending cycles, and it's the last quarter. What do we do with the last quarter mile? Do we power out? Do we quit? Do we put a band-aid on it? Do we just pretend? Do we just find a solution that gets us by now? Or do we come full circle And this is about what you do in that last quarter, and taking that last quarter and putting your all into it, putting all of your energy into it, feeding it every bit of light, love, faith, hope, kindness, compassion, everything that you can, and to truly believe with all in your heart that we are about to go through a big change. And we got Feed the Light, which is Rose, which is the card that came out from my deck of oracle cards. And this makes me chuckle because I just did the full moon meditation, and the full moon meditation's on Corrie School of Magic. And the full moon meditation is Rose. It's about the rose. And this is truly about feeding the light. And so her name is Rose, Feed the Light. And I've written a whole book where I speak about the character being Rose. And Rose was blended. She was already plucked from the vine. She already was thrown into life. You got to make the, you got to build from what you have and what you've experienced and who you've been, and you have to build from that. You can't go back and build from, we can't go back and scratch everything out and start over. It's like if you keep doing that, we're never going to get ahead. It's about building from where you are, who you are, from what you've experienced. And that's how we be able to start a much better world and a much better life. So it's like, what are you feeding today? Are you feeding the fear, or are you feeding the faith? And no matter what's happening in the world, if you keep feeding the faith and the hope, you will see the rewards that come with this. And you will start to notice and start to be able to see what is real, what is not real, what is a truth, what is not a truth, like to you, what aligns to you. Nobody gets to decide for you who or what you should be, and nobody gets to tell you your truth. But now our truth, we get stuck in those convictions, and it doesn't mean it's truth. So it's this, that, and there's the truth. So there's your truth, there's another's truth, and then on the other side, the veil, there's the truth. So there's stargazer Frida is what comes out, and in alignment. And I feel like with like this planetary alignments, as we are aligning, is that we are coming into alignment for change. We're coming into alignment for good things. We're coming into alignment for to step back into the light. It's like it's like all the cycles that keep repeating. It's like, let's bring us into alignment to our truth. And this is where the power of the four comes in. And it's like three builds a triangle, fourth provides the in-depth the in-depth middle. So if you see the triad, the triangle, and you see the power of that triangle, what's in the middle? What is the substance in the middle? And that's where you often will see in the imagery, you'll see the eye. And so through our third eye, through the eye of the beholder, what can we see? What are you witnessing? It is time for us to go deeper. It is time for us to look beyond the surface. And it's time for us to be able to see that the elders, the pioneers, the energy, the world that exists before us has a lot of wisdom for us to gain from it. And it's time for us to be able to surrender over the pain stories and to be able to stop being in that pain and to start living in that light alignment. So this is an alignment process that's coming this week with this moon. I feel like things are falling into alignment. I feel like things are falling into place so that we can start to make a shift that needs to happen within this world. But it does take action, and it's going to take actions of love and light to be able to bring that change. And love and light don't mean judgment. And that's something that people should really take a good look at. And so this is the Sephiroth of pain. It's in our hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. And so, we've got the whole world in our hands. We've got the opportunity right now to be the change that we want to see. And it takes us having to do that. It takes you having to do that. If you want your world to come into alignment, you have to be the peace that falls into you, that comes home to you, that stops being at war, that stops trying to be something else or somebody else, and come into you this week. And this moon is about, planting. The seeds have been planted. We've planted the seeds. We've planted them many times. Are we ready now to allow the unfolding of watching the beautiful flowers blossom, to watch the gardens blossom, to witness the awe and the simplicity that Mother Nature tries to show us of how she cares for herself? And that we are not so needed in that journey as what we think we are. And so this week, it's about us coming home to us. What do we need to do for us? Bring the awareness back into the pioneers and into the elders, and really truly Just know there is wisdom that is trying to come in because our knowledge is contaminated and the knowledge is not serving our highest good. And we need to blend it with some beautiful trusting of some wisdom that will serve the highest good. Have a beautiful week, and I hope this serves you somehow. And make sure you take time to listen very carefully to what it is that your heart is really telling you, not what your head is telling you.